So Atma Siddhi is all about the means and method of self-realization. We have almost finished one third of the text. First 23 verses were the introductory verses, or say Upadghat, introduction to the text. Then we had 10 verses showing us the traits of a bigot, or namely Matarthina Lakshana. And then we saw 9 verses regarding the characteristics of a true seeker, Atmarthina Lakshana. So, having explained the characteristics of a true seeker in the last section, the last verse, verse 42, Param Kripadeva had mentioned that I'll be showing you the 6 fundamental truths necessary for, say, self realization or liberation. The 6 fundamental truths I'll be stating, showing, explaining in the form of a dialogue between Guru Shishya. So, Guru Shishya Samvati Bhakyo. Guys, unwavering faith in them, meaning unwavering faith in the 6 fundamental truths, results in Samyak Darshan, self realization, and this was explained to Muni Lalluji in the most famous Chhapadno Patra. So now Chhapad you know. Patra, letter to Muni Lalluji, when Muni Lalluji was in Surat. So Prabhu wrote him a very long, lengthy patra where he expounded the 6 fundamental truths in prose. And in that he has stated that unwavering faith in these 6 fundamental truths results in Samyak Darshan. Being the basis of spiritual knowledge or the base of Jainism. Understanding these 6 fundamental truths, Shat Pad, Shat means 6, and Pad here means the aphorisms or fundamental truths. Basis of all spiritual knowledge and basic of Jainism. So here someone can doubt that I have never heard of this. I have been going to the Pathshalas. Even when I was going to the Pathshala when I was young, I have never heard of this Chapad, which Param Kripadev says is the basic of Jainism, fundamental, and which leads to results, Samyak Darshan, self-realization. So doubt would obviously arise, never found it anywhere, never heard about it, and you are saying these are the fundamentals of Jainism. So, to rule out, I need to tell you, we all have been told the fundamentals of Jainism is now Tattva. Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Pap, Ashrav, Bandh, Samvar, Nijara, and Moksha. So either 9 Tattva or 7 Tattva, merging Punya, Pap into Ashrav. So either 7 Tattvas or 9 Tattvas. When we start a philosophical study of Jainism, we all have, at least we are familiar with these 9 words. But if you are not a follower of Srimad Rajchandraji, you might have not heard anything like Chapad, Shatpad, and it is so important in understanding the path of liberation or understanding the supreme reality, the supreme truth. You need to know everything about the truth. So, as we know, the omniscient ones, the Tirthankar Bhagwans, Bhagwan Mahavir's sermons, Bhagwan Mahavir has not written anything, but his sermons are compiled firsthand, and they are compiled into how many scriptures? 12. Called Dwadashangi. Dwa, 2. Dash. Dwadash. Das, 10. So 10 plus 2? 12. Dwadash Angi. Ang. Acharang. Suyagadang. Sutrakrutang. Thanang. So all the scriptures have Ang as the last two letters. So it is called the Dwadashangi. Dwadash, 12, Ang. Dwadash, 12. First one being Acharang. And one sutra you know about Acharang. One sutra. Anaye dhammo, anaye tavo. Agna is only dharma. And in Agna is all your penance, austerities, everything. It comes in your Agna. If he tells you to eat and if it is his Agna, it is tapasya. It is dharma. And if he tells you not to do upvas and still you would want to do upvas that day, so you have done adharma. So, one sutra you know of Acharang. Anay dhammo, anay tavo. So, every day there are 11 more. So, the 12th scripture is called Drashtivad. 11 ang only, but 12th is called Drashtivad. Drashtivad is lost since more than 2000 years. So, what is available is only 11. The 12th scripture named Drashtivad lost for more than 2000 years. Not available. Then how do you say so? Because there is a mention in one of the Anga called Samavayang Sutra. There is one Anga, Samavayang Sutra. In that sutra, there is a mention of Drashtivad. So we come to know that there was something like Drashtivad which is not available right now. And in that sutra, it has been mentioned that this Drashtivad was divided into 14 segments called Purva. So 14 Purva. So 12, the last one being Drashtivad, 14 Purvas. See, nothing is available, right? We are just knowing about it from which scripture? Samavayang Sutra. And out of these 14, the 7th one is called Atma Pravad Purva. 14 Purvas. This information is very important. After you study the Chapad, then if someone asks you from where did Srimad got it from? Nowhere. Because we have not heard about it in any of our Jain texts. There are many Jain texts, you have not studied all, but Srimad has got it from nowhere. I am trying to prove this wrong. So, this discussion. How authentic it is, right? So, in the Samavayanga Sutra, we get to know it is mentioned the last Drashtivad So, information regarding it we find in Samavayang Sutra. So, Drashtivad is the 12th scripture, divided into 14 Purvas, and the seventh one called Atma Pravad, the subject matter of Atma Pravad is six fundamental truths. So now you know the source. Bhagwan ni Vani, not available since more than 2000 years. Roughly 2200 years or so. Bhadrabhava Swami being the last Purvata. So maybe during the Mauryan times, after that it's not available. So subject matter of the seventh Purva, Atma Pravad, is the six fundamental truths regarding the soul. We find a mention of Chapad, Shatpad, even in Acharya Bhagavan's, Upadhyay Bhagavan's scriptures. This is Agam, direct Vani of sermons of the Lord, the omniscient Lord, especially Bhagavan Mahavir. So Acharya Siddhasen Divakar in his scripture Sanmati Tarka Prakran. Lucky bhi nahi sako, it's very difficult for you. I've given many references of Sanmati Tark Prakran in my Vivechan, and during the thesis I found out that Chapad is clearly mentioned in Sanmati Tarka Prakran. Then around 300, 400 years back, Upadhyay, Sri Yasho Vijayji Maharaj, we have done many texts of this author. So he has composed a granth, a scripture of around 124 to 125 verses, and the name of that book is Samyaktva Shatsthan Chopai. Shatsthan means Chapad. So I came across this granth first time when it was the last time we went to Diwali, Palitana for Diwali. Which year was that? 2000? 98, 99 maybe. So when I was going to, when I was coming to Palitana for a Diwali Shibir, you know, for 10 years we used to go to Palitana for Diwali Shibir. So 3 days we would do twice a day satsang, and then on the 4th day we would climb the Shatrunjay Parvat. So it happened maybe in 97 or 98. My mother had to go through a surgery, uterus, and she was in a little depressed state. And I was in her seva, and it was just the previous day of the Shibir, and like she could not make it to, and she was not ready to stay alone in Bombay. And finally, I took her by air. So actually to Bombay Ahmedabad ni flight thi. But some problem at Ahmedabad airport and it was diverted to Bhavnagar. Good, no? And we could actually come out. Usually you can't come out. Huh? They will again take it to Ahmedabad. But for whatever reasons, so Bhavnagar Palitana is just 40 minutes. So I've always been traveling in a personal jet. So I had some time, and there was this Acharya Pradyumna Suri Maharaj Sahib Chaturmas in Bhavnagar, and he was remembering me a lot. So I went to him. And whatever little satsang, I did my Vinay, then satsang. Then I asked for prasadi. Now, a sadhu has to give prasadi, means he will grace me with some granth. So he gave me 2 granths. Shamya Shatak, which I took it in one of the Paryushan Granth, and the second was this Samyaktva Shatstan Chaupai. Bhavnagar Palitana, I read it. 40 minutes. I was shocked. Chapad so nicely propounded in it. So we have lot of Acharya Bhagavan, lot of Upadhyay Bhagavan expounding on this Chapad, but because the Jain community was not interested in such philosophical or metaphysical truths, they had become so ritualistic. So it remained unexplored. And Param Kripaludev brought it to light. So Srimad brought it from nowhere is completely wrong. Its source lies in Jinagam. Right? I explained the 12th one, Atma Pravad Purva. And lot of Acharya Bhagavan and Upadhyay Bhagavan has also, but as I said, the Jain community was not interested in deep truths. Whatever they found hard, they found it unnecessary. So very few sadhaks who were real truth seekers would go deep into it. And the community didn't even know about it. And Param Kripaludev, with his endless compassion, to the extent he says that this is the basis of Jainism. And one should understand these truths if he wants to pursue the path of liberation. Moksha Marga Samjhay. So Moksha Marg Samajhu Hoy, path of liberation, if you want to understand what to do, why to do, etc. How to proceed on this path, if you want to know, you must understand these truths. So, as an introduction to the main subject of the text, main subject is the name is Atma Siddhi, and you know the 2 meanings of Siddhi. Understanding on the at the intellectual level, the nature of the Atma, so Atma Siddhi, and then experiential level, pursuing the path to experience. So that is Atma Siddhi. And what is the main subject matter? Guru Bhakti. No, that was the introduction. Okay, Matarthi and Atmarthi Lakshano. No, that is just to inspire you to develop that worthiness, so that you can imbibe the main subject matter. But what is the subject matter? Cha pad, shat pad. Shat in Sanskrit means cha. So 6 aphorisms. So before explaining and commencing the explanation, beginning the explanation of these 6 fundamental truths, a section of 2 verses only. બધા પાસે organizer છે? Anybody? So go to the handwritten pages of Atmasiddhi. Go to Atmarthi Lakshana. Go to verse 42 rather. So after that is what? Verse 43, then 44, then 45. So what is written before 45? Shishya's Shanka regarding the first truth, first pad, existence of the soul. So let's go back to 43. So do you find a distinct section 43 and 44? I don't see. There's nothing written Like it was written Matarthina Lakshano, Atmarthina Lakshano, but there is no specific section. And I'm saying this is the fourth one because in the first handwritten copy, this section was not made by Param Kripalu Dev. So there is nothing in his handwritings like Shatpad Nam Kathan. You can see, you have the handwritten copy. There's one over here. But the first copy, VS 1961, Vikram Samvat. So Prabhu left his mortal body in 1957. The first copy of Vachanamrut published 1961. So after 4 years. And who were instrumental in that? Pujya Sri Ambalal Bhai and brother Mansukh Bhai. So it seems he must have looked after the content and all, and the other fellow regarding the publishing and looks like it. So in the first copy of Vachanamrut, VS 1961, 1905, first copy of Vachanamrut. In that there is a section called Shatpad Nam Kathan, comprising of two verses, 44 and 43 and 44. And then from 45, the fifth section starts. Doubts regarding the existence of soul and the solution provided by the Sadguru. So this section you will not find in the original copy. But when Ambalal Bhai is there and he makes any changes, we know the personality, the bhakti of Pujya Sri Ambalal Bhai, and how the level of reverence and respect he had for Prabhu's Vachan, he would not have changed it or added. Subtract the question is pan addition pan he wouldn't do without asking Bhagwan. So it seems, now we don't have any proof for that when the copy original, when it was composed on Asova Dekam, VS 1952, Asova Dekam, it seems that time Prabhu did not want to make a new section. And maybe after certain discussions and all, Prabhu must have felt that, this is to familiarize, when we have SC meetings also, every steering committee member would want to, ask or inform or update me, or they might be having some queries. So they will put their name there. And the system we follow is, first they have to explain in one line why they are asking what they are asking. So I should be very clear, why am I hearing that? Either they want to pass the design, or they want to pass the budget, or they want to just update me. I have to be clear. They can go on and on for 30 minutes, but I'm lost. I don't know why I have to hear this. હજી બધા કરતા નથી એવું, પણ Nemiji always does that, much I know. So one line first, ke Bapa, we want you to be informed, or Bapa, we have a query here and we have two options, we want you to choose one option, or the option is also like discussed and this seems the only option, but this is the budget. Good work A, medium work B, and ekdam kaam chalao, I don't have any English word for that, kaam chalao budget C, and now you weigh it and tell us A, B or C. So only one line and I exactly know how my mind should work now. So this also I learned from my Guruji. Okay, just don't start with the question answer session. Why? What is the purpose and what are we going to discuss today? First tell us in one line. So he compose these two verses, verse 43 and verse 44. So, are you very clear? What are you going to hear in verse 43? See, the name of the section is Shatpad Nam Kathan. Shatpad, 6 aphorisms. Nam Kathan means just naming, not explaining. You just can't start explaining. When I'm saying the short meaning, I have to stick to the short meaning. And then when I go to the detailed explanation, I should go into the details. But short meanings should be over in 1 or 2 minutes, which I don't stick to it always out of my over enthusiasm. But only naming, I'll be naming, which you all already know, but naming of what are we going to do in the rest of the text. So, Shatpad Nam Kathan, naming of 6 pads or 6 aphorisms, 6 fundamental truths. So, this is the name of the section. Verse 43, verse 44. Verse 43, we will get, what are we going to study? The 6 pads, the name of the 6 pads, only, no explanation. Even I won't explain. Bhagwan didn't want. And then the detailed debate or discussion or dialogue will follow. And you know, he has designed it in the form of samvad, dialogue. So it's going to be interesting. And then comes the verse 44. The main purpose of verse 44 is to show us the purpose of why to study these fundamental truths. He'll be saying something about the 6 schools of thought, but that we'll see. But that is not the purpose. The purpose of 44 is to show the purpose of study. Names. So in one word, names, 43, names, and 44, purpose. Very clear? So, the crux of Atma Siddhi Shastra is now going to be put in the form of dialogue from verse 45. And it's going to be really interesting because Param Kripa Uday puts himself in the place of the disciple. As Dr. Mansi said, triple role. She must have said for inspector and all, or you said it for this Guru, Shishya, and the scripture, right? So, I picked up that way. So, he's going to put himself in the place of a disciple, express the doubts, like a true disciple, seeker, logic and reasoning, everything. You know, when he's expressing the doubts, he's not going to utter words like, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I have done some avinay. He is expressing the doubts wholeheartedly. With all respect and everything, because the word used here is susishya. So he will have all the traits of a susishya. But wholeheartedly not hiding. Avu puchis to kevu lagse. He might feel I'm a dope. I'm not understanding so much. No, if he's not understanding, he has to open his heart. So imagine when he goes in the role of a Shishya, let us finish the Atma Siddhi Shastra and then I will independently talk about the Guru and the Shishya. How wonderful is the Shishya, how wonderful is the Guru. And the romance between them, that is different. So he puts himself in the place of a disciple or a seeker. I can say pupil, I can say student, but Bhagwan has only used the word Shishya. So I'll be using Shishya. But at times I might use student also because yet he's clear that my Guru is a Sadguru. But he's not clear about the nature of the soul. Understand that. In fact, he has full faith in his Guru that he's a self-realized. So there is something like soul because he has experienced the soul. But I'm not understanding it, so I want to understand from it. This is something unique. He has faith that he is a Sadguru. So he's not talking to a friend. So whenever I have to say Samvad, usually I say like this, Samvad. Because this is a Sushishya. So you understand that. So he puts himself in the place of the disciple, expresses his doubt. Then what does he do? Assume the position of a Sadguru. So left Upasapati goes to the right. And he answers each doubt, each doubt, one by one, with cogent clarity. Very, very clearly. Means you थोड़ो भी डाउट अनरिजॉल्व नहीं रहे एंड बीजा 5 क्वेश्चंस भी उभा नहीं था लाइक इट्स अ फुल स्टॉप to your mind. Your mind is so convinced regarding it, so there's nothing unresolved. Cogent clarity. Dr. Mansi, you say this word tomorrow, okay? Because this adjective is very, very important. Clarity, Sate. So, and the purpose is also so beautiful. The purpose is not only to demolish the doubt or the arguments of the disciple. That is always there to clarify. Clarify is a good word. Demolish karta bhi. But actually demolish is also right. But that is not the only purpose. With every answer, it takes him further on the path of liberation. Not only mental satisfaction, more and more resolve, conviction, unwavering faith, and he sees to it that he moves further on the path of enlightenment. So that is very important. And in doing so, he has shown how a gentle persuasion as a method of instruction is far superior than a rigid imposition. જો ભાઈ ડોક્ટર માનસી જરા આ રીતે વિચાર કરીને જો look at this whole thing with this point of view. This is a gentle persuasion. I'm not forcing anything on you, but I'm trying to show you a different viewpoint to the whole thing, a point of view. So it's a gentle persuasion, and it might change your thinking, your way of life. And one is a rigid imposition. This is a lecture, pravachan. And this pravachan, I am saying, this is the truth. And if you don't believe it, you are a Nastik. So he doesn't choose this method of pravachan. There's a gentle, I said, a friendly conversation. There are 4 types of communication. I'm not going to explain it in detail. Head to heart to heart to heart. I'm not going to go into the details. That's on my subject matter. But we can take one Udghosh. I don't know when I'll be able to take an independent Udghosh. But one is something coming from my head, and I want your heart to be touched. My aim is that I may be successful, I may not be successful, from head to heart. Then head to head. First was head to heart. Something is coming from my heart, but it is resolving your doubts in your head. And one is heart to heart. I think Guru also must be in silence, Shishya also must be in silence, because verbalizing love is reducing love. This is my belief. This is my belief. Silence is the best way to express love. This is my belief. It might not be an absolute. This is my opinion. Say, silence is the best form. So heart to heart. અહીંયા heart open થયું, ત્યાં heart open થયું, and you just say, message received. So different ways of communication, but this fellow wants each and every doubt to be resolved. He doesn't want to become, he doesn't want mystical love. He wants, ekdam logical, and he wants clarity. May a question pucho, and what is your answer for this? So if the Sisha is on that level, the Guru is also ready for that. Correct? So everything is going to be beautiful. In fact, Param Kripadev literally shows awesome ability. Awesome. The way he shifts the disciples' point of view. His first problem is going to be, why can't I see the soul? If I can see this clock, if I can see this book, then why the hell can I not see the soul? So this is going to be his viewpoint. Therefore, I conclude means I conclude my argument. I have yet not made a judgment. That I have kept it after you answering. But Pelu, lawyers, they conclude this, therefore. So concluding the arguments I have put forth, I feel the soul does not exist. But I want you to address and to resolve my doubt. So he has literally shown the awesome ability, how easily, and we'll see the fluidity in the whole conversation. In 3-4 verses, like he's convinced, why do I need eyes to see the soul? He'll be convinced in 2 verses. 2 verses only. So how the whole basis of the doubt will drop by just 3 or 4 words. When he says the seer of eyes, how can the eyes see him? It is he who is seeing through the eyes. And you say, oh, barabar chhe. So how easily and with that fluidity, that is his awesome ability, and we'll be seeing that. And so beautifully, we will not only give conclusions, but he will show the flaw in his reasoning, in the manner of his thinking, and errors in his conclusion. Therefore, because you are thinking this way, you have concluded this way. So I'll first show you the flaw, Bhagwan says. I'll first show where you went wrong in your thinking. And then obviously your conclusion. But I can directly hit here, you're wrong. No, I will explain. See, you overlook this. There is no logic in what you're speaking. You have not even seen Fiji Islands. And still you are accepting the existence of Fiji. તો કે મેપમાં છે ને. So what, મેપમાં છે તો શું થઈ ગયું? I can also write in a book and say કે આત્મા છે. તો કે પણ my friend has been. So my friend has been.